Alright. It's a crazy valve that goes out there.
Yeah. That one's really
Yeah.
big.
I forget those are like, all of mine are just like one, they're not like multiple loops and spirals. So I was telling Wu Yin, our goal today is hopefully we'll have time to split you up at the end and work on some scale karate stuff and some other stuff you guys might want to work on. But our goal today is to get through, oh, my pieces are falling. That's weird. Anyways, our goal today is to get through all the pieces. So run them, work on some stuff, and then we know what we really need to like work out next time before our concert. So our concert's when?
Friday.
Friday. You guys excited?
It's Friday, right?
Yeah. I'm
Wait,
excited.
so my mom was wondering, do I come a little early?
Yeah, I should say on that sheet. When does?
It's like 5:45 I think on Friday.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Ms. Neil, do you remember? I'm sure they'll remind you guys in rehearsal.
Just for the
Like it starts
so what is
7.
at 6:45?
Yeah, if it starts at 7, usually, we're doing a run through of everything beforehand. So
Okay.
yeah, so 5:45 sounds right. So be here, like be in your seat, like ready to go at 5:45 on Friday. Missing something. Simple gifts and Noah Freedom for Judy. And somehow I'm missing the email. That's okay. Okay, so get out the Remington exercise that Dr. Johnson has you guys do at the beginning of rehearsal. We're just going to go through that. We're just trying to get our first notes to blend and sound beautiful and be in tune and all those good things. Do you have that sheet?
No.
Do you know it? Okay. I figured. So we'll go take it slow. 1, 2, ready. Same exercise, starting at the beginning. Piano, 1, 2, ready? Do really good breaths. Good for you guys. We've worked a lot on that, and I can really see you starting to get it. So that's awesome. One thing to think about when you're doing this sort of stuff is, especially with the good breath, sometimes you hear that like fuzziness, and I think that's because you're not focused and your buzz is not going. So even with the big air, make sure you're just focused in here, so the buzz is still good. So the air is not overpowering your buzz. They're kind of working together. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just making sure that never stops and that keeps going. It's going to help a lot. But man, when your tone, now your guys is when you take that deep breath and the buzz keeps going, the tone sounds really good, so keep it up. We're gonna start on B flat, and we're just gonna go up by half step, okay? So we're gonna start just to like warm up our higher register in preparation for Madiba, because we have all those high notes. So we're gonna start on, high B flat, and we're just gonna go up note by note. So we'll just go one note at a time. So 1, 2, B flat. play it again. B natural. B natural. Yeah, you got it. Andrew, you play it. 3. Now, William, you add in. You keep playing. So you're coming in a little bit under him, and his sounds in tune to me. So if you could just faster air and then just like thinking higher, we'll just get it there. It's not too low, so let's just try it again. So entry first, 3. And we can add in. Yeah, it's closer. Sounds like that might just be a weird note on your horn too. That's definitely closer. Yeah, on those horns. Yeah, on those horns, the B naturals are always the worst notes. So if you can get those in tune, you get any note in tune. C, so high C, 1, 2, high C. Let's see if we can get the fuzziness out. So just consistent air. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, I fixed it. Now try doing it at like a mezzo forte. So don't like overpower it. Just nice and consistent, fast air. 1, 2, ready. You start out and you kind of sag a little bit. And then, okay, let's go high D, which is what fingering? Open.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different than the lower one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the
That's so weird.
E.
Oh, D flat. We didn't do D flat.
It's half time.
What am I thinking?
Then high D flat.
In my mind, I just thought we already did it. D flat. So D flat's what fingering?
2, 2.
Yeah. Well, actually, D flat's 2. And the high one. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Think. Right. Yes, it's 2. I have to think because it's, yeah, I have to think because on mine it's different, but for you guys it's 2. It's different than the lower one. So 1, 2, ready. Yeah, go. 1, 2, ready. Make sure D flat will be 2. It's just more in tune that way. It's just one of those weird notes. And then D is open, so 1, 2, ready, D. E flat, 1, 2, ready, E flat. Yeah, entry first, E flat, 2, ready. And then add in William, so you keep playing. Yeah, it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Just think really fast air. Don't try not to force it, but just think, shoot it up to the stars. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, it's good there. That's a hard one up there. That's getting to like the top range, especially with those horns. So yeah, good job. Now we're gonna take that in time, just up by half step. Okay. So da 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 da. From B flat to E flat. All right. So we're gonna take it slow chord notes. Slow chord notes. 1, 2, ready. Yeah. So B flat. Play your B flat just to get it in here. Good. 1, 2, slow chord notes. B flat. B. Do half notes. Half notes. 1, 2, ready. B flat. I'll give you the fingerings right here, just in case you get lost. One more chance. 1, 2, ready. B natural, C, D, yeah, it was better that time. I think one more time will be really good. 1, 2, right at B flat. Oh. That's easy to do. That big thing. Okay, 1, 2, start on B flat. B flat, B, C, D flat, D. Good. just to make sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's the weird one. I don't think we even have any B flats there, I think, so
No.
it should be fine. Right on. Let's get out simple gifts. Yeah, and you guys actually, I was going to tune. You guys sound really in tune with each other, though, so I'm not going to worry about it. Because it's good that you are listening. I'd rather have you guys listen to each other and match than tune individually, and it takes like a longer time. You know? Cool. So simple gifts. We're just going to run it straight through. Sound good? And we'll only work on stuff if I get to the end and I hear something. Because this one's going pretty well for us, right? I think it has been. Simple gifts. I have to give it a tempo. Okay. 1, 2, ready.
I forgot.
Oh, I forgot your
Like
music.
sometimes, no, I forgot what the melody was. Sometimes I have other pieces in my head.
Yeah. Well, it's easier if I'll just give it a
So I was thinking about this part, so I played it.
Oh, okay. It's easier if you have it in front of you, so you can use my copy. 1, 2, ready. And 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. Sorry. Are we at the rhythmic part now?
17. I was going to 14.
Oh, you're at 17.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
Yes,
fault. Sorry, I started looking at the score like after I started conducting it.
There.
Oh, okay, that's right. Sorry. Hey.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Oh, not good, huh?
Overwhelming enthusiasm in the tuning section. Okay, I'll find something right around.
Here, just put it on the back of this.
You should.
Right, Tuba.
Tuba. Attendance. Injury. Oops. Check. You're official. Check.
Yay, thank
Yay.
you.
Okay, 17. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, before we go on, just think toe. It's too heavy. Alright? So everybody say toe, toe, and then go. Right now we're going. Just think lighter. 1, 2, right there at the rhythmic part. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready? Good. It's more like instead of like a killer at like triumphant ending, it's like fading away. And the tuba goes, it's gonna freak everybody out. Okay. Last two notes. One. I'm not so soft that.
Yeah.
One. That's exactly what we want there. I really like that. So I just have a couple of things. Mostly it sounds really good. The rhythmic part, we started off light and we just got more heavy. Like it's so easy to get heavy in that part. So when it started off dun 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 dun, and then by the end we're kind of back to pounding it into the ground. So just think light, and it should never feel like you're stomping. It should always feel like you're dancing. And then 45. I really like the big breath and the big sound you guys are getting. Just make sure it doesn't sound like edgy or forced. So just as loud as you can play, like instead of like forcing it, just think like full and strong. So it's good breath and good tone, but just think full and strong, right?
I'm taking breaths after every note, is that okay? Because I just like it to be full and not have to squeak through.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's an efficient breath with a good tone. Sometimes with long notes like that, I do the same thing, you know. But just as long as the sound is there, you know.
If I make it through 2 notes, it just sounds better if I.
Yeah.
By the 7th beat.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'll watch it this time when we do it again. I'll see. Make sure you're taking good breaths and good tone. All right. That's a good question though, because sometimes it just takes a lot of air when you play tuba. That's good. So 45. Let's just try that. Just make sure it's like nice and full and round and not forced. 45. 1, 2, ready. Get up high enough in the A.
Yeah, I also messed up.
Yeah.
Actually,
There's a couple flubs. It was okay.
Yeah.
It's because this was loose, not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I was like,
Indra, I like your air. Make sure though you're not puffing your cheeks. Like when you get really, you're starting to do that. So you can do the same thing, just with like more focused embouchure. Then I'll make it go a little bit rounder. It's easy to do when you start playing loud, but just make sure you're not getting in that habit. 45 again, same thing. 1, 2, ready, 45. That sounds great. You guys sound great on that. And I really like how you're breathing in between the bar lines. It sounds really good. And because Indri's breathing on the bar lines, but as long as you keep, yeah. It's sounding really smooth and connected. So good job. That's awesome. I really like that. And let's just try the rhythmic section, right? When we have the staccato, right at the beginning of that, just to make sure we're playing light. So 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. Like, don't speed up. Make sure you're not speeding up. So, just like just make sure pretend I'm Mackenzie or Miss Sutphin and you're watching me. 1, 2, ready. Good. Light. Me. Yeah, that's the lightness we want. Just make sure you're connected to when she's on the podium. Make sure you're connected with it. Cool. Let's move on. Now we're going Medal of Freedom. We'll get the easier ones out of the way. Cool. You ready? Do you have that one?
No.
Oh, you don't. You can look up anyway. I have all the scores, so it doesn't bother me. Medal of Freedom. Oh, the scores still on. Okay. I'll probably do Do you have the music for that by any chance? Just so I can look at it. The score is just it's like so many page turns. Thank you. Here we go. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready. So make sure it started off pretty well. We're gonna make sure you're just keeping it light. Right now you're just getting bogged down by.
Yeah, I also thought it was A flat.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So remember that for this time, and then but even if you're like getting back on board, just keep it light so it'll be easier that way. Don't make it too hard. Nothing in this should be too hard. And so yeah, and just make sure you're keeping the tempo up. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. Try that again. I just want to do that again. Starting at 81. Are you okay? It's a long one,
I
right?
had one band today.
Oh man, yeah. I feel ya. So if you want to like relax or not play as loud because you're tired, that's okay. 77. We'll start right at 77. 1, 2, ready. Good. Let your spit out. Because I hear gargling. So a lot of good stuff there. I hear a lot of good stuff. There's just a couple things I want to hit. Overall, if you could, I don't think we need to do more on the accents if we could do less on the non-accent notes. Does that make sense? So you don't need to hit the accents, but dun, 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 dun. Does that make sense? And that'll make it easier for it to move along to. On the C's, what's your fingering for C? High C.
High C. That.
Yeah, and then that's where I'm hearing you get mixed up when we get to the high C's, and I hear you go, oh. So just make sure, like, so like, C is first vowel, C is first vowel, C is first vowel. So when you get there, you're like, oh, okay, I got it. Because I know you can play it. It's just remembering the fingering. So let's try both those things. Let's hit both those things. We'll start at the beginning, remembering the accents. So less on the non-accent notes, right at the beginning. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready? a nice light toe. I'm still not hearing it. I'm hearing it sometimes, but overall we just get, like, once we get going, we get like smashing into the notes, and that slows it down and makes it heavy, which we don't want. So yeah, nice and light, and that's going to make it easier to breathe and make it easier to do everything. So remember toe. Right at the beginning, same thing. Just remembering to keep it light, keep it moving. 1, 2, beginning, 2, ready. Do you still spit in there? I heard spit. See it one more time. Sometimes it's weird to get out, isn't it? Okay. Can I hear you at 9? Do you mind?
9.
Measure 9. 1, 2, measure 9. 2, ready. It's those C's, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the C's, yeah. So I don't mind marking them in.
The C's and the A's.
Yeah. So something like that, that's just that you're like, dang it, I can never remember that. Doesn't hurt to mark it in. That's first valve. And that's first valve, and that's 1 and 2. So at least you get your memory jog, the rest of the piece. Okay, both of you at 9.
Oh wait,
Oh, that's not 1 and 2, is it? Sorry.
I thought that was...
That's 1 and 2 on my own. It's the worst. It's like I know both of it, but it's like using two different, it's like patting your belly and, or rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. Cool. Measure 9. That's right, okay. Measure 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. And so mark that. That was awesome here. So you just need to, I think just that reminder helps you.
Yeah.
Because yeah, once you got it, it was great. So that was 1, first,
Second.
2, that's 1 and 2. You got that though. Alright, and then last thing, well, yeah, I think if you just, both the things we worked on, I think if you remember that, it's going to be good. And then just make it soft but not pinched at the soft section. So just like still a nice round open sound. I'll give you a chance to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, when you come in at 45 with the motor again. So after 41, the soft section. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So measure 45. 1, 2, measure 45. Here we go. Is those accidentals, so you know, there's the more you can make those seem like natural instead of like, oh no, accidentals, the easier it's going to be. I feel you guys like rushing toward it or kind of panicking on those. So just use the air the same way as you would any other note. Cool. Let's go to Jody. Thank you. All right. First spot you come in. 1, 2, ready. One more time. Make sure you're focused right here, and that you're using your air at the right speed, so you're not gargling. One more time. 1, 2, ready. It sounds really good. I feel like you're working too hard, which is the easiest thing to fix, you know? So you're just working too hard, and so I think you're pushing too much, when it goes from the E flat to the F, but you're just pushing too hard. So just relax into it, you know, don't work too hard, because you're using a good breath and you're using good air. So now that you're using those good things, now you can relax, right? 1, 2, again. 1, 2, ready? Yeah, perfect. When you come in next, 2 after that. 1, 2, ready? Good. Before 19, I'll give you 4 and then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Just make sure, you know that crescendo, I wouldn't even worry about it.
Alright.
You know?
That takes me
I don't even worry about that crescendo. The important thing is just to keep it smooth. You know, keep your air constant. 1, so starting in the same place. 1, 2, ready, and. And what happens with that crescendo is that the F pops out more naturally anyways. 35. So I'll give you a 3 and you're in. 1, 2. Make sure you're waiting till you just jumped the gun on beat 4, okay? 1, 2. Make sure you go. You're just jumping gun. It's such an easy rhythm, but you're just thinking of it too fast. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, coming in on beat 4. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, same thing. 3 and you're in. 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You okay? Yeah. You can take a rest if you want. You want like a minute to not play. We're playing a lot. Okay. So just woo in. 2 before 43. Yeah, go if you want to go get a drink of water or something. Woo in 2 before 43.
Okay.
Are you all right on your own?
Yeah.
I believe in you. Because you sound awesome. 1, 2, ready? We're gonna go 2 before 43 on that like high
okay.
B5. Cool. 1, 2, ready? Yeah. Oh, so good. That was so good. The hardest part, and it's hard for me too sometimes, is that B natural. So it has that decrescendo, right? But the B natural, because it's like a weird note, just like needs more air. Because like when you put down all 3 valves, just like you have to put air through more piping. So you just need a little bit more air. So instead of decrescendoing, just use steady air into the A.
Okay.
Does that make sense? 1, same place, starting the same place. 1, 2, ready? Keep going. Yeah. Your tone sounds great. Your tone sounds great. Now let's get it in time. It's going to be perfect. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, and that's so hard. Try it slurred, just because if you can slur up to it, it'll be easier to tongue it. So start at 43 and slur those 2 notes. Okay? 1, 2, ready. Faster here. Change so it just requires like a faster shift because you're getting that pitch in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's a really good slur because you're like actually slurring up to it, but it just needs to be faster.
Okay.
But I think you're really getting it. Let's take the slur out now. And so the same airspeed, just not a slur anymore. 1, 2, 43. Yeah. Excellent. Cool. And what I'm seeing is that you're using your air excellently. It would help if you just tighten your corners a little bit too.
Okay.
So make sure your corners are working with it. You good to go? Cool. We're good. Right. Let's do both of you 2 before 43 in a high B flat. 2 before 43.
We did use that high B flat. Point. Oh,
We did?
B flat?
Oh, B flat, yeah.
Sounded like
2 before 43. 1, 2, ready. Down here. Back down. You guys are really getting this. This is sounding great. It'll be really great for a concert. In general, I think your louds sound really good. I could use softer softs. I could definitely use softer softs. It seemed like after you came back down, it seemed like our difference between the piano and forte at first wasn't that big. And then when we came back down to piano, it sounded softer because you guys were like, oh yeah, piano. You know what I mean? So just make sure our softer softs, because our louds are good, you know, we got that down, but just compress it a little bit. And 51 is really as soft as you can play at the good tone. So not softer than you can play, you know, but it's like pianissimo, right? So 51. And so see how soft you can play with a good tone. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Yeah. Now here. Yeah. You know how much more exciting that is with that dynamic contrast? Yeah. So I'm gonna like you guys with pencils. Do you have one on your stand, Ian?
No.
No. What happened to that one you had before? Did you give it
I
back?
had like 3
Oh, it's over here.
binder. And then I forgot my binder.
Oh.
So
So it goes. So it goes. So I'm gonna take that pencil and just circle every piano. I'm gonna do the same thing on the pianos. Just so you guys see it and you go, oh, over there. Yeah. I want our pianos to be softer on this song. And then I'll make our fortes really pop out. Those two, right? Thank you. Am I missing any?
Oh.
That one, cool. Cool. Piano. I think that will really help us out in this song. However, 59 is not piano, so let's go with 59. 1, 2, ready? That's the to the A. There it is. I say let's take a dynamic off. I like it at 59. Let's take a dynamic off at 66. and let's just make it smoother, okay? So now instead of breathing, because it's more of a melody there, right? So instead of breathing after like every note, take a dynamic off and see if you can make it like 2 measures without breathing, okay? And so that way the line pushes forward a little bit. So 66. 1, 2, ready? Breathe. Now we're coming back here. Piano, I know we can do more piano, especially that decrescendo in the piano. I know we can do more piano, get softer on that. And then it stays soft, like all the way to the end of the piece. So not getting louder. Oh no! Do you need bath oil?
Doing it in a bath helps a
It
lot.
does help, yeah. Usually schools will clean them like after every year, so like around like April and May.
They told us to clean it ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
They told us to take it in the shop.
Oh really? You guys do that?
Yeah.
Do you guys take it to the shop too? Cool. Is it still sticking?
Like whenever I do it, whenever he plays,
You play.
it sticks.
Doesn't hurt to put some valve oil on it.
Yeah.
I have my case outside.
It's the same.
Same one. You probably want to wash that though.
Yeah.
Oh, I have it in here. Here, I'll get it. Yeah. You.
This April, my school took
Mhm.
it to get it professionally cleaned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do that to my tuba every year, because it just gets so much weird gunk in it. If you were to like open your tuba up if you haven't cleaned it in a while and look inside, you're like, oh yeah, I need to clean it.
Like cobwebs.
Yeah, some weird stuff goes on inside your tuba sometimes. Small animals living in there. Mice.
That's the
When you're in marchband, people throwing stuff in it.
Yeah, it's the worst. Okay, 66. I still want to hear it smoother, so try to connect your air more in between notes. Does that make sense? So instead of try to go. Still breathing where you need to, because you need to breathe. But that's the sort of idea, because we actually have like a sort of melodic line here, and that's awesome. We never get the melody, so let's do the most with it. 66. 1, 2, 66. Second beat. So Wu Yin, you'll hold out the high G the whole time, and then you'll go high, low, da. Yeah. Yeah, that sounded really good, guys. Let's bring out Mediba. Good stuff. And I know this piece, so I don't.
Okay. I was about to say you studied. Did I hope?
Do conduct it. Okay, so we're starting at, when do we come in? C? Okay, C. One, two, C. That's the worst. Maybe You got it.
Yeah, sometimes I get caught in like the
It's kind of weird
corners.
noises. I didn't see any coming out on here. There it is. Well, that's right. I'm the spittiest tuba player ever, I think. It's just like my spit never stops
My
for some
trombone
reason.
always has a lot.
Yeah, is it the worst?
It's hard to open the valve because I kick it. It doesn't spit out the bottom.
Yeah. Boop. Easy. Done. Not as fun on tuba. For this one, I have to like turn it around 1,000 times. It's a good time. Anyways, C. 1, 2, C. Keep going. Oh. Right, D. 1, 2, D. In general, it's so hard at that like loud dynamic. I'd rather, if you feel like you're like breathing all the time and you can't like ever get it right, I'd rather you take a dynamic off and be able to like play through the whole line without, messing something up. Because it sounds like it's a good volume and there's only 2 of you, so I don't want you to like kill yourselves. Because I can hear you from up on the podium. And in the hall, like tuba carries like so far, so you won't have to work hard when we get in the actual concert hall. So just however volume you need to play to make you comfortable. And this is good. This is a good day because now I'm actually telling you to back off a little bit. So that's what we've been working toward all semester. That's awesome. So yeah, back off and just make it smooth, like a beautiful melody line. 1, 2, 1.
Wait, so
Starting at C. Yeah, sorry. Starting at
C.
C. Yeah. 1, 2, ready. Play that first note. Just play the first note. Just play the first note. Hold out the first note. Yeah. We just have to hear that in our head before we start, and that'll set us up for the rest. 1, 2, C. You're using too much like pressure, smashing your face into the horn, which might be why you're just hurting too. You're using too much pressure, and you're not using enough like corners, especially in the high stuff.
If it hurts to use my phone.
Oh, is that
Like
what?
back
Oh,
here
okay.
and up here.
Okay.
And it
It's
always
probably hurting
like
the high
this.
stuff right now. Yeah. Okay. So instead of killing you, let's start in the low spot. I know how that goes, so we'll just move on now.
I could just play it off the down just for today.
You could do, if that helps you and you feel comfortable doing that, that'd be fine. Yeah, I know how that goes. But just in general, even when you're tired, it's better to rest or play like knock it down instead of like smashing your face in, because that like hurts you, if you do that too long. So starting though where we marked and knocked it down, I think on that D, right? D, 1, 2, right? The dynamic back and then just the more smooth really brought out a lot like of your musicality. So that was good. I like that. Let's keep it that way. Let's just do the end. F. Yeah. 1, 2, ready. Find your last note. First bell ring. Good. 1, 2, ready. If there's anything we're playing that's not quite there, that's it, you know? And it's just hard. Yeah, it's hard.
E.
So I don't want to, since we're running out of time, I don't really want to beat that in the ground, but we'll start, and our music, we'll start that next week.
Alright.
So we'll work on that hard next week. I think everything else is like, you guys have it under your fingers and sounds good, and you know exactly what to do. So that'll be our focus for next week, and that's one of those details that we'll just work out, and we'll be able to do it, and it's going to be awesome. Does anybody want to do scales? Have you been working on any of that
I
stuff?
don't
Or?
have my scale sheet.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. I can always mark it down in something I have and we'll remember. I know we kind of lost our focus on scales, but it goes so fast, right? Like I was just thinking, I was like, concert next week? And I was like, I thought, you know, it just like, seems like it just flew by and all of a sudden there's no more time. Did you want to try any scales or no? You don't have to.
Try E flat.
We'll try E flat. Let me hear it. It's just around E flat.
Oh yeah.
No, I know you got it. I want you to try one more time and just make sure your air like never stops. The speed never stops as it moves up. So you're gonna need to go faster as you go up. That was really good, Nguyen. Yeah, man, Nguyen, you have improved so much since the first day. So you're doing so good. So your tone is good, and you have, you know, that's not an easy scale. So E flat.
This is my hardest scale besides that.
Yeah. You want to take something? I don't know what we got in there. You take two things. That. And that. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, we are running out of time in our program, but if you guys want to do more scale sheet stuff next week, we'll make sure we get to that. And also next week's the last week for the class project, right? So if you want to bring anything in that, let's do it. We'll see.
Okay.
I know, it's hard to remember. But yeah, it's the last week, and we got a lot of cool stuff, and so like the more stuff we get, the cooler the class is going to be. Right on. Good job, guys. Pack it up. We're going down.